What's going on, guys? When I lost the storage unit, I knew I was going to need to figure out some place to get comfortable. Still haven't done that yet. Um, Looking forward to getting back out on the driving range. I think that's what you guys like to see. So, yeah, I'm going to have my days like yesterday where I rant when I'm not on the happy pills. I get it. I'm a lyrical assassin. I say it all the time. Disrespect gets met with more disrespect. I laugh all the time because I'll take things from a 3 to a 10. I don't want to have an argument. I don't want to have a conversation. I want to be done with it. Make my point. You either love me or hate me. That's the way it is. I'm cool with that. The space that I've found, other than the driving range, to be comfortable has been at the beach in the parking lot. I went down there today and the place was packed. They were doing that polar plunge. Is that really a thing? Do you people actually think that's normal to jump in 40-degree water? I don't know. There ain't enough chicken soup in the world to get me to jump in that ocean right now. Um, yeah, so yesterday was on one. I wasn't really attacking anybody personally. It was funny, it was sarcastic, but I covered some topics that I don't really want to talk about publicly. Some of my health stuff, some of my frustration with um, my motivation or lack thereof for the last 12 months or so. And now I'm bored out of my mind. So I think it all came to a wrap a little bit. One of the things I did talk about was one of the listeners from TikTok, Mitch, sent me a video of his golf swing. And I only bring it up because Tony Finau yesterday, I don't know if it was on PGA Tour's Instagram or on his own, was saying the same things that I said to Mitch about his golf swing. He's a former baseball player and he's pretty athletic. So he does enough well that if he loosen up and get comfortable and work on his walk in more than anything, I think he'd be better off. You know, a lot of golfers are searching for that perfect golf swing. And either A, they're like myself, or they have physical limitations, or B, they just aren't athletic enough to make that move. You know, I saw yesterday on the stories, I was kind of joking when I was kind of talking about people that clap like this. You know, golf's an athletic sport. It really is. You see the guys that played sports and that played, that implement those feelings, you know, from being in the box, playing baseball, or being at the point playing hockey with a one-timer, right? You're not going to stand over the ball rigid and try to guide it somewhere. You know, I guess slow pitch softball is probably one of the only ones that you can think of that, where you're trying to put it in a perfect spot. But most sports, it's reactionary. You know, the hockey puck comes a little offline, you adjust, and you just let it rip. Well, that needs to be golf, and that's how you can stay around par, is by feeling relaxed and comfortable. You know, if you feel relaxed and comfortable, a lot of times when you get to the top, you're going to understand where that face is, and the better you get, the more adjustments you're going to make to the bottom. Where some days when you're just not even feeling like you're swinging well at all, it's the best you hit it because of the corrections that you make to just keep it in front of you. You know, there's a couple podcasters that I follow. You know, Riggs is one of them. He hasn't hit a driver straight since he switched to TaylorMade, and it's all mental now. It's mental. He needs a different look. He needs to put a different head, a different shape in front of him. For me, when I switched from Titleist to the brand that I went on staff with second, it was the face was closed. I couldn't get my eye to adjust the face at address enough to take it back square and get the face square. It was closed, 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 and I knew it at the top, and then I re-grip and get stuck and hit it 40 yards right. That was a frustrating season, and it was just as simple as a company change. It had nothing to do with my golf swing. It was the way the driver sat on the ground got in my head. So, yeah, I honestly don't know what you guys like. It's funny, some of the stuff that I expect to get a ton of views or a ton of responses to, I don't get much at all. And then a ton of the stuff that I think is corny as can be, you guys respond to. So again, it's me not understanding what the average golfer feels, thinks, wants to view. You got to remember, golf's a career to me. So it'd be like going to a barbecue on a Saturday afternoon and sitting there with your buddies and you're an accountant and talking numbers all day, right? It's tough, and it's one of those things that I struggled with. Was I know a lot of the basics, but to me it seems basic. But I don't know where my listeners are in terms of skill level, goofy golf level. I know I've done a couple polls. One of them said, "Do we want to talk golf, or you want me to kind of go to the range and do the goofy golf and trick shot thing?" And it's no, I'm not a trick shot artist, but I can hit a flop shot with the best of them, right? I can do the wedge juggle and hit it down the middle. I can do some goofy things, but I just feel like everybody else does the same thing. I know I'm unique in the golf industry. I have a unique take. I'm not afraid to tell my side and my opinion, and usually it comes from a place of experience and knowledge. Working at all these different golf courses, a lot of the stuff that I'm ranting and raving about, it's because I've seen it so many times. Yeah, I know I've got the cast of characters, and it cracks you guys up, and that's why I don't tell the people. A lot of the people that ask behind the scenes, who's so and so, or where is Caddyshack 2? If you don't know, then it's better off just laughing and having it being an imaginary figure. But yes, it's to the people that chime in and say, "I can't believe one place is that bad." It's that bad, but yeah, golfers kind of are a weird bunch. You got people from all kinds of different industries that have different opinions and different ways to do and say things. I try to be as blunt and simple as I can because I don't want to get stuck on both sides of an argument, and I don't ever want to be considered a liar, right? That's the biggest thing with a lot of private clubs, whether it's the club president, whether it's the board of directors, or whether it's the owner. The membership always thinks, "Oh, they're lying to us. They have more money. They could do this. They could do that." It's never gonna be happy-go-lucky unless you're at a high-end, top 100 type of place where where the owners have deep pockets. At the mid-level, you have to be accountable for every dollar. Another one, the fucking greenskeeper, he's gonna make his cheap shot and then block me. Well, if he thinks $1 million is a small budget for part-time help, you're out of your fucking mind. $1 million greens budget should have acceptable conditions. The greens should be great, maybe around the edges kind of misses. A lot of the things that the people complain about at a lot of clubs is, soft, slow conditions. Well, a lot of times that has to do with budget, but then they nickel and dime every other thing. And it's like, all right, you can't nickel and dime everything. Let's figure out who we are as a club. And again, this isn't why I'm not singling out Caddyshack 2. I've seen it throughout my career. One of the things that I said while I was at Harmon, there was just too much management. You had a golf pro, you had a director of golf, you had a general manager, you had a membership director, and then you had 3 owners. So when you sat down at a table, and the superintendent. So when you sat down at a table and said, "Okay, who are we?" You had 7 leadership category employees and 7 different answers. And the sad part is the 3 owners didn't even have the same answer. And they can say they did and all they want, but the one owner that's never there wanted that place to be just a nickel and dime car wash, get in, get out factory. The other owner wants it to be a little more high end, but is afraid he's going to lose all the members. And then again, that's the battle. Where is that number? What's the bottom line? Unfortunately, when you drop the bottom line looking for more members, you alienate the few members that you have that would spend the premium if you offered a premium product. That's the balance. If we're making X with 1,000 members, can we make X with 600 members and less stress on the golf course? That's how you figure that out. And there's exceptions to every rule. One of the arguments at my former employer was, when we were at our lowest, the guys that would get killed by the price increase, it wouldn't be able to afford it and they'd leave. Well, then you make a special category for 5+ year membership, or you call them and sit them down in the office. Hey, we'll keep you at this number. You're 75, 80 years old. Keep it between us. We need to increase the dues to limit how many people are out there. A lot of times golf courses overwhelm themselves with people. You can't handle the amount of people that they're trying to accommodate. There's a couple clubs very similar, Boston Golf and OS, they kind of have that similar vibe or close enough. When they get busy, those properties aren't big enough. They weren't designed to accommodate 200 players. The clubhouse at both places, they thought of everything except for size. Where you're going to fit 250 players, and that's not who they're supposed to be. During COVID, that's kind of who they became. Everybody was working from the office, aka the golf course. So, and you saw it with the differences in terms of divots, in terms of ball marks, in terms of all the bunkers being raked. It affects everything, and at a club like that, the high-end club, one member is usually 4 rounds every time they're there, because the first time they join, that first year, they're going to want to bring guests all they can. You look at my history at Caddyshack 2, and actually you look at my history at Resi down the street in Mattapoisett when I grew up there. When I was at Spring Valley, I was a member at Resi, and we brought a group every Monday. That was our escape, drink beer, hang out. And then Caddyshack 2 became a better version of that, except for the greens. And cost, I think that's the other thing that they do at a lot of clubs is they set the dues so low, and then you get there and it's a $5 bag of chips. It's a $7 Bud Light. You don't have to be Boston bar prices at a private club if your dues are the correct rate and your minimums are correct. You've heard me rant and rave about that. The only way food and beverage has a chance at most private clubs is food minimum. So I got off topic a little bit going on in club. Let's go back to the golf. A couple podcasters, Riggs is one of them. The other one is the guy from Duffin' Up. I don't know if that's his shtick, if it's an act, if it's funny, or if he actually feels this way, but the negative, dude, you're 3 down before you even start. One of the things that I talked about with Mitch about his golf swing is his walk-in. How do you get into the shot? How do you see the shot? You see me a lot of times, I play a fade, so I'm going to walk into the shot and I'm going to see it out of this eye because that's the shot flight that I want to see it. A lot of golfers' problems are with setup, and I think simulators have something to do with that. It's tough to get completely online and know where the simulator is completely dead straight. One of my buddies, he's a baseball instructor, and he's been doing some golf videos. A couple of his swings, I saw his stance was set up closed, but it registered 0-0 and dead straight. So that's something he's doing with the club face. That's not 0-0 dead straight that he's going to have to figure out in the spring. He said he had caught it. Hopefully that's the case, but alignment sticks even indoors are tough to get set up. You got to remember, you're not the person that needs to be pointed at the target. If you're standing left of the golf ball, you want the club face pointing at the target. That means your alignment stick needs to be parallel and train tracked to the target, but not pointed at it. Because if you point it, if this is parallel and now all of a sudden you're standing left of the golf ball and you point your alignment stick at the target from where your feet are, now everything goes with it, and now that face is pointed right, and now you got to make adjustments to get the ball back online. So set up, relaxation, and just letting it go. Most people, and I only single him out because it's been like a week straight of hitting it sideways again, and it was all a day after I hit it great yesterday. Well, that's the other thing that most amateur golfers don't understand, is it's so hard to repeat yesterday. How many tour players do you see shoot 62 or 3 on Thursday or Friday, and then the next day they're right around par? It's so hard to go low the second day. You have to trust it and just let it rip. Even if you hit it sideways, aim further left and hit it further left. That's the biggest mistake people make, is they aim left and then they guide down the middle and they never get the face close. And I single out most guys because most amateurs play a slice or a fade, and I think, honestly, myself included, I get too open. I feel like I'm aiming left, but then I swing right and the ball stays out. If anything, it goes further right. So if you had the ability to hit it well the day before, you have the ability to hit it well today. You just have to get out of your own way. And I think the negative comments, and I get it, the Duffing Up podcast, I get it's a stick, right? If that's the stick, just understand, if you let that attitude leak into your golf game, you got no chance. So you've heard me talk about the medication that I was on and I'm coming off. That's one of the things that I loved about it. Right away, the negative thoughts over the golf ball went away. I started taking it about the middle of July, and by August, I was standing over the golf ball, and I don't think I missed a fairway in August. Everything was great. Everything was easy. I was happy. I was fun. But then once the dog died and the deep depression started, I think it made it worse, and I think it kept me in that position and in that place. And I'm not mad at my therapist or my doctor. They thought they were doing what was right for me. I'm mad at myself for not following up, but it's my MO, and they all know that. So but again, you bring up my personal life, and I'm fine. I'm not embarrassed about anything I've done. I could care less. I just wish I had caught it sooner so I could get back to work sooner. Now I'm struggling. I gotta figure out money. I gotta figure out how to get to Florida. Waiting on contacts now, because now it's been 6 months since I've ordered those. Just everything that I let lapse, I'm having to catch up. So that's all. It's not anything. I'm not mad at anybody but myself. I did it to myself. But I think some of the stuff that I went through actually could probably help me help others in terms of golf, because I hadn't felt that happy and that comfortable on the golf course in a long time. Usually it was about pain, and it was about, all right, what's directions this one going today, and just kind of bumping it along, making a lot of pars, but not having a lot of fun, because I was playing defensive, angry, scared, afraid to miss golf. And you can't play golf that way. So again, I don't usually like to single out guys by name. I try not to. I know I'm toxic. Everybody's trying to get away from me as much as they can, but you guys still stay tuned. Clearly the poll that I ran yesterday, saying post the crazy or try to make it look like I care, it was 75-25 post the crazy. So I think some of you guys just stay tuned just to see what the fuck I'll say next. But yeah, I'm starting to be me, and it'll probably be a little bit more angry and a little meaner, but at least it's not the sad, mopey, unmotivated, medicated version of me. So yeah, I hope you guys listen to what I'm talking about, and I hope it helps you. And if it does, reach out, Mitch. Keep sending me those golf swings. I'll keep telling you what I think. But until next time, guys, Happy New Year, and let's go.